All right, welcome to From the Stands, PNW. We are a dirt track racing podcast. We do focus on dirt track racing here in the Pacific Northwest. Our home tracks, Skagit Speedway, located in Alger, Washington. Deming Speedway, located in the metropolis of Deming, Washington. Does Deming have its own post office? It has to.
It has to. But it's not the metropolis.
Oh, it's a metropolis.
It is the sticks.
I would never refer to Deming as the sticks.
Really?
I go to Deming to get stuff done. I don't get stuff done in the big city of Bellingham.
Okay.
I get stuff done at Deming, in particular at Deming
Speedway.
I was waiting to see how long it was going to take for you to finish my sentence.
I'm pretty good at finishing
That's
sentences.
on you, dude.
But I was also watching the TikTok feed.
All right.
We're on like a national level right now. We have somebody here from Knoxville. We were just talking on a national level.
Talk about I love that. I have not been to Knoxville. I am looking forward to having Stacy take the chain off my ankle and allow me outside during daylight hours outside of normal working. I would love to be a fan in the stands of Knoxville Nationals. I would have loved to have been a fan in the stands to see Eldora and the push truck drive over the sprint car at the Jokers, whatever that was, the high limit race that forced that driver to. Oh man, I'd be pissed. Yeah,
shit happens.
Shit happens. It does. All right. So we are talking, this is episode 8, night 3 of the Clay Cup Nationals at Deming Speedway in the beautiful metropolis of Deming, Washington. Deming is where I go to get it done. I want the t-shirt. All right. So if anybody is not familiar, because we didn't really say this in the first 2 nights of the Clay Cup Nacional, as we would say in the Latin countries. Deming, the Clay Cup Nationals is the crown jewel on the West Coast for micro sprint racing and arguably the top race in the country for micro sprint racing. So if you're on the West Coast and even in the Midwest, we had lots of Midwest drivers for the Clay Cup Nationals. You are coming to Deming to race in the Clay Cup Nationals. That is an organic growth. A national touring series didn't put Deming on the map. Deming put itself on the map. Paul put that track on the map. And we're grateful for it. So anyway, that is my intro to this episode, but we're going to talk a little bit about something that is a little solemn and kind of a tough subject. We're going to talk about Maddox. He is a non-wing sprint car driver.
I think he probably does both. But.
Does it? 19 years old. He was killed earlier this year, right? Fast Forward did a tribute on Facebook. They paid honor tribute to him at the track before the main events. There was, by the way, Fast Forward's tribute was awesome. Shout out to Fast 4 Media for putting that out. He was a young race car driver whose life was taken way too early. I'm going to read a little bit something about Maddox here. I want you to bear with me because I think it's important for this episode. It says, Maddox raced with a passion, left a lasting impression on everyone that watched him race. Known throughout the Pacific Northwest dirt track racing community, Maddox's dedication to the sport and love for racing inspired fellow drivers, teams, and fans alike. Though his time on the track was far too short, and it was, 19 is far, far too short, his legacy continues through the memories he created in the racing community that proudly carries his spirit forward. The number 5 will always be remembered. Yeah. It's hard not to get emotional because you hate to see that. leading up, we had the Dave Key Classic, learning about Dave Key and how wonderful of a man that was, and then hearing about this young man being cut short, being a good person, and it ticks me off, and I'm going to be a little kind of non-racing for a minute. It ticks me off that the good people have to die and the crappy people get to stick around.
On the bottom, well, there's two things about that card that I wrote. Okay. The first thing, as a fan, I have seen, and maybe this is being a fan and getting more into seeing stuff on social media, but I've seen the 5 in the halo sticker.
Yeah.
Okay. I finally was able to put a connection of what that meant, because I had no clue what that meant.
The 5 in the halo.
When I seen the sticker and that kind of stuff until that memorial.
Mm-hmm.
There was a memorial race in the middle of that card at Delta Speedway.
Yeah, so May 29th and the 30th, the Delta Speedway.
Huge memorial race.
The Maddox Salmon Memorial Race, $10,550, non-wing featured race.
It came out to be published when I was doing some research.
$53,000.
$53,000 is what they gave away between the race prizes, the special prizes, all that stuff that was due to sponsorship that they were able to gather.
Sure.
That's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. And I would say this dating race car driver that's either watching it at home on TikTok or watching this podcast on Spotify or YouTube, research Maddox. Mm-hmm. And then when you're behind the wheel, drive like Maddox would.
That's that last sentence. Yep. And I think that Clay Cup, those drivers on night 3 drove like Maddox
would. The memorial lap was awesome. It was super classy. Caleb did a great job. Fast Forward Media did a great job with the tribute on Facebook. Mm-hmm. It's a shame, I'm a parent, we're parents. I can't imagine losing your child when they're a teenager, especially when they're doing good things in the world. It's a tragic thing. So shout out to Maddox and his family, and I hope positive comes out of it. So, and it should. And if every driver drives like Maddox, I'm sure that's what he would want. So
100%.
Absolutely. All right.
So transitioning from driving like Maddox, that these drivers on night 3, holy moly, they ripped and they roared.
It was great.
They fought throughout every lap.
If my body hadn't been hurting so much by the end of night 3, I probably would have broke down. Yeah. The 600 restricted race was special. I would have broke. Yeah. I'm an emotional guy. I wear my emotion on my sleeve. The junior A main was special. The 600 restricted main was special. So
I will have to say that doing what we've done in the last month around the tracks and this podcast and meeting the drivers and their families have put a different connection where you're not just a fan in the stands. You're a fan of the teams, of the parents. You're a little more invested than just being a fan in the stands.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a racing fan for 35 years. I've seen all forms of racing. The stuff I've encountered at Deming, I think, has changed me as a race fan. Because you're seeing what grassroots racing should really be like. And you're seeing how people should treat each other, how great most everybody is. I know in the last episode we talk about a few dickheads, right? I hate to say it, but the 98% that are out there are the most incredible people. People have given us our shot with this podcast, and when no one else would, and believe in what we're doing and put support behind what we're doing. And Deming has, and I think micro sprint racing and the attitude behind it has fundamentally changed me as a fan. Never thought that would be possible. And it's incredible. I have a yearning for it like I've never had before. And I've been a fan, don't get me wrong. But I've never been introduced to it on a level like this, and it's changed me, even in this short period of time. So, anyway. Yeah. Stacy's monitoring TikTok, too, so if you're watching on that camera, she's, right there with TikTok. So, if she's reading extra, I'm getting ready for her to, ask a question or say, we're here to support you through your weight loss journey, or,
The random.
Or do you like the random comment of, hey, what was it like to get cracked out behind 7-Eleven? That
We get
kind
all sorts of fun stuff on
Yeah.
lives. Okay, so we have the last interview that we were able to pull off. We had a little bit of a schedule issue, not exactly 100% sure, but
Well, let's talk about it after this next segment.
Losing my mic here.
Stacey's having all kinds of problems. So I want to apologize to Mr. Cannon. I know we met him early on in our time there at Deming, and we kind of got around to him a little late to talk to his son about racing. It's another great family. And it's a common theme and thread within this community. But we did manage to interview Ryan Cannon, who is another, prestigious race car driver at the young age of,
I'm guessing 12.
Yeah, it's crazy. So if anybody doesn't know, he drives the number 40.
Black and neon yellow.
It is black and electric yellow. The paint scheme is awesome. We actually talked with Mr. Cannon about that a little bit before we interviewed Ryan. Ryan's not super big on interviews.
No.
So if he seems a little kind of gun shy, being in front of the camera is not his forte. Forte is behind the wheel. Trust me. You watch him run, look at all the results. He's always close to the top. So anyway, here is the Ryan Cannon interview, and then we'll wrap up that segment, and then we'll kind of talk briefly about our little schedule issue, and then move on to recapping some races.
Yep.
Things going through my head, and that makes doing interviews horribly bad.
It's not live, you can edit it, right?
It is, yeah. That's the nice part.
Take 2.
All right, take 2. Here we go. It's a good blooper reel. All right. So here we are. We are day 3 at the Clay Cup Nationals here at Deming Speedway. You probably recognize the car in the background. It is probably one of the most iconic cars running around this track. One of my favorite paint schemes, but we have a young driver here. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell the folks at home what you drive and all that good stuff.
I'm Ryan Cannon. I drive a micro restricted 600.
So, when you started racing, how old were you?
5.
5. What did you start racing in?
A quarter midget.
Quarter midget. And then when did you graduate to this car in particular? How long ago?
2 years ago.
Okay. Have you've raced other tracks outside of Deming?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite track?
Yeah.
What's your favorite track?
The Tulsa Shootout.
Tulsa Shootout. That's a good one. That's a big race. So I'm kind of curious, what part? I've had a chance to see you drive quite a bit. What part of the track do you like to run in? Are you a top, middle, bottom?
Probably mostly the bottom for
Bottom.
passing.
You have lots of experience driving. Do you ever get nervous when you're behind the wheel? Is there ever a time that?
Only if you're starting in the back and there's a lot of new people in front.
Sure. So formation lap, everybody's stacked up, about to go green. What's going through your head at that moment?
Nothing really.
It's an honest answer. I appreciate that. So I'm kind of curious. After the night is over, right? Racing's done. You get out of the car. What is the first snack you get to? Like, what first snack do you eat? Water, chips, what is it that you...
Probably ice cream.
Well, love that. People are going to love that one. So, yesterday you finished really strong in the main, finishing third, if I'm correct, right? Where are you starting at tonight?
Well, it's not official because I'm starting 5th in the scramble.
Mm-hmm.
And then wherever I finish there is where I'm going to start.
Are you hopeful, though, it's going to be a good night? I think
Yeah.
you're a strong driver, so I think it'll be great. So, tonight is night 3. This is for all the marbles. So, Ryan Cannon is one to watch.
All right, so that was our interview with Ryan Cannon Jr., part of the 40 black. Is it electric yellow?
It is bright.
That's how I keep referring to electric yellow. I don't know if that's...
It's not like construction high vis yellow. Like, it's on the brighter side of that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a great interview. He's a little gun shy. Like I said, you probably see it. But trust me, he is not when he is behind the wheel. His guy's a beast.
But I think that's part of what we're doing, and especially with these young drivers, is the exposure and the practice that we're giving them.
If talking to me gets them better for when they get into the bigger series so they can face the camera, great. I'd love to have a part in that, you know.
And the more interviews they do, and even like with us, like, you know, I would love to sit down with...
It won't be the last time we talk to him. That's for
No.
damn sure.
And like Clayton too.
All right.
Like, we did a really short interview because that's when the sprinkles were happening and everything else.
It was a little chaotic, yeah.
We would love to sit down with Clayton more and really talk about things.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and the moms and the dads are all saying, hey, this is going to make them better. Like, we know that they're
I hope so.
on the quieter side. They're shy.
Yeah, I mean, I know maybe when you're at a certain age you hate it because you'd rather be riding your four-wheeler and doing the whole thing, but, you know. Now, the next interview we were supposed to have, it has been the interview that I have prepped for the most since we have done this podcast. I agonized over it. I'm just being honest. I talked about it with Stacy at length. Not only do I have mad respect for this race car driver's father, who I watched as a young driver and coming up through the ranks in the sprint car world, he made himself a local legend. But this particular driver has become somewhat of a local legend already, and he is not even old enough to vote yet. And if you're wondering who I'm talking about, I am talking about Levi Hillier. We were supposed to do an interview. We couldn't quite piece it together. I'm hoping he will make time for us in response to missing soon, because I have a lot of really great questions for him. He races at Deming. His sister races as well. And Levi also races a 410 at Skagit Speedway. So,
Yes.
yes.
So the thing I think the thing that I have kept telling myself, because I was really excited that I got this
Stacy
interview.
was patting herself on the back that she got the Levi Hillier interview. Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, yes.
Even though everybody told us that Levi is a pretty good interview to get, and he doesn't really turn many people down. But
most of our interviews have reached out to us.
right.
And this is one that I reached out.
That was the kind of the first.
Yes.
By the way, if you are a 410 driver at Skagit Speedway, don't. Yeah.
What?
Well, I was just going to say, don't wait for us to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
Get a hold of what was that?
I was going to say 362.
Well, 362, yes, but you didn't let me finish because you started holding up hand signals before I even finished
I was
my
trying to be one of
sentence.
those parents on corner two.
Yeah, well, that doesn't work, obviously.
So,
Don't
you
wait.
know,
Reach
Levi
out.
I assumed he was driving in Clay Cup because that made sense to me.
Yeah.
He was not. He was being a part of the crew.
He was a member of the Rudine racing team.
And so I think, just with that and like the race cars and that kind of stuff.
Well, they have 3 cars typically, right? His sister's, and
Amelia's.
Amelia Rudine's car. But during Clay Cup Nationals, 2 cars, that's a lot because you're in the 600 open, right? Is Amelia running the restricted?
I want to say they're both in the restricted.
Savannah and, okay. But it's a lot. And even more so if Levi's car is out too. But Levi was lending a hand, I'm assuming, to the team, and that's what was needed, and we get it. So
Yep.
I just hope that, if Levi does see this, hey, I have a great interview set up. I thought of some really thoughtful questions. It's not scary, I promise. I'm a nice guy. Even though I have resting butthole face, I promise I'm nice. So I'm excited because you have a great legacy and, all that. You have a great lineage like the Key family, so.
Definitely.
All right. So let's get into our recap of racing.
It's a big
Championship night.
Lots of racing.
I'm going to save my favorites for the last.
Okay.
All right. We're going to get into
I'm going to guess you're going to start with the 1200s.
we're going to start with great. Stacy almost read my mind. We're going to start with the 1200. Main event. 15 entries. Nate Vaughn, who finished third the night before, ends up winning the 1200 Clay Cup Nationals. 1200cc race of the Clay Cup Nationals. Isn't that the Shots to Go 1200cc?
I think it is.
Okay. I want to make sure I give them their shout out too because they sponsor that class. So Nate Vaughn in the N8 led all 40 laps. There was, I think, a fight between second and third back and forth, right? It was slide job after slide job after slide job. But we had Kyle Mitchell in the 10M and Jade Thomas in the J10, right?
Yeah.
I love that paint scheme on that car, by the way, because it's that orange. And Hard Charger Award. Jade Thomas got that, which is super good. Nate Vaughn also won Clay Cup in 2025, so he is a repeat winner, which is awesome. That is hard to do, I would think. I mean, you got drivers like Shane Smith in the 1200. Like, he's a legit champion.
Well, we've talked over and over and over how this track changes.
Yeah.
So.
Crazy. Let's go to the 600 Open.
The main event.
It's the premier
The
40 lap.
$10,000.
$10,000. 58 entries for that.
It was big.
So we have the B main. We had TJ Smith in the 58 taking first, right? We had TK O'Brien in the number 5 taking second in one of the B mains. And the other B main, we had Spencer Constance in the 78S and Braden Danielson in the 5D. Those were the 1 and 2s of the 2 B mains. The A main was insane. Shout out to Colton Key because he was 5th starting,
If not a little farther back.
and he had to scratch his way. He made the podium, finishing 3rd. Colton Key in the number 63 finished 3rd in the A main. Tanner Holm in the 48T finished 2nd. And our big winner was also a repeat. Is that correct?
Yep.
Jared Peterson in the 21P won the big show. I mean, what do we call it? Big show?
Yeah.
Big race. But it's a big race for everybody, so.
The main feature.
The premier race. He won the premier race. Lap. So Cody Key led. And Cody Key in the 15 led laps 1 through 6. And then Jared Peterson basically led lap 7 till the end.
I would have loved to see Cody hang on. He had car troubles.
Yeah, he ended up getting spun, right? Or, yeah, he got moved to the back and then had to retire due to mechanical issues, I believe. So That sucked because he was up front.
And I think it would have been a neck to neck, back and forth, slide job after slide job.
It would have been great to see brother versus brother. That would have been an awesome race to talk about.
Dalton said that Jared has actually won it 5 different times.
Oh, really? Wow. I wasn't aware of that. That's pretty awesome. And then, of course, the Hard Charger Award went to Spencer Constance. Is that right?
Yep.
In the 78S. So congratulations to them. They were not disappointing. They were great in what went on. So, all right, we're going to get to the junior sprints. Junior sprint A main. Jace Coates in the 75J finished third, made the podium. Congratulations to him. What is SO? S/O. It's Stacy's notes, so that's why I'm asking her.
I would have to look at I was going to say maybe a shout out, standout.
Okay, shout out. Okay.
Yeah, because it's Owen. Shout out to Owen
And Kaysen.
and Kaysen.
Okay.
Because they were ones that we interviewed during the week.
So Jace Coates in the 75J, Lucas Fisher in the 73, and
Kaysen.
Mr. Sargent is a beast. He led every single lap, dominated. And here's the thing. Juniors are what they are, right? But watching Mr. Sargent perform, it was like he was a military sergeant. It was every time the green flag dropped,
Which was numerous times in the juniors.
there was lots of issues with yellows and all that. Every time the green flag dropped, he separated himself from the rest of the field every single time. Hit every mark he was supposed to, and it was a dominant A-main win. Congratulations to him and his family. I want to give the shout out to Owen
Hold
Hill.
on. Can I say something first?
Can I finish the shout out, and then you can go hard?
Yes.
Shout out to Owen Hill in the 13R. Owen with the 600 restricted and the 00. He did finish fourth. And then, of course, Case and Key in the 15K finished ninth. And Hard Charger went to Emerson. Congratulations to those junior sprint car drivers.
So, what I was going to say is, Kaysen's story about Clay Cup and the 3 years of running it. The first year didn't finish. The second year he was leading, and the nerves got to him in like that last 1 or 2 laps, and he just fell back, And then he was determined this year.
To watch him in the race, though, every time the green flag dropped, he ended up getting to a 10 car length separation every single time.
He was determined, and I think that the experience and the setbacks and failures that he's had over the last few years of a Clay Cup, he needed to tame that beast.
I'll never be able to look him in the eyes ever again. When I'm in his presence, he has the dominant male role when I'm around him. I can't look him in the eyes. I won't. He is the dominant male in that. He is a beast. So, plus, and this is a little fluffing our own little tulip. Do you fluff tulips? I kind of heard you do sometimes.
No.
He had no qualms of putting a sticker of the podcast on his car, too. First one to do that. So, yeah. So, anyway, let's get into the final race of the night. Was the 600 restricted. I know it is not considered the premier race, but it was action-packed to say the least. So let's go through the B mains. Casey in the number 8, B main winner. Number 2 was Courtney Baker in the 16. Okay, and then we had Hudson Johnson and Gio. Yes, in the 1 and 2 in the 2 B mains.
Gio might have been one of the farthest United States drivers out of Indiana.
Might have been, yeah, which was awesome. All right. Let me do it this way. I'm going to do – Gio got the Hard Charger Award. So let's start there before I get into the rest of it, which is awesome. Congratulations to Gio for that. And we appreciate Gio coming out and racing in that race, blessing us with the excellence of his driving. Yeah, his driving. I don't want to, you know how that goes, right?
I'm going to assume.
Lap leader, we had Little was the 1 through 12 laps, right? And then 13 through 30. Holy crap, really? That many, huh? Wow, Dayton had, I didn't realize he led all those laps.
I think they were close.
I was focused on another driver.
Yes.
So, I know as a member of the media, we're not supposed to do that, but I was pulling for somebody. So, the A main was incredible. Dayton won the A main, placed first. Hudson in the 23H was second, and bringing up third and a podium in his rookie year, Sage Parker. I was so happy for him. And I actually have a little snippet of him and I at the race car after his win, asking him how he felt and where he thinks his status is amongst the rookie drivers right now at Deming Speedway. So here is that little clip.
Dude, are you kidding me? Podium Clay Cup Nationals. How was that? I mean, what's going through your mind right now?
I can't believe it. Like, I'm pretty pumped, and like I didn't know I was gonna make it here.
Did you knew like halfway through the race, like where you were? You know, did you understand that you were close to a podium halfway through?
Yeah, I already know it. I knew who was behind me, and I knew what I was gonna do.
So I think this is going to solidify you as Rookie of the Year candidate, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm pretty much going for.
All right, Sage Parker, podium at the 43rd Annual Clay Cup Nationals.
So that'll be it with that, right?
Yep.
And then so that is our recap. Ben the Flagger.
I just want to mention that.
Yeah, Next Lap Motorsports. Let's
Is
do
his
that.
TikTok. Yep.
Let's do that first.
Okay.
All right, we're going?
We're going.
All right, so next we want to talk about somebody that I thought what was going on was super sweet. So there's a young man that hangs out in the front stretch, or at least did for Clay Cup, especially night 3.
Yes. That's the only night I noticed.
And I noticed him and didn't know much about him, but apparently he is called Ben the Flagger from Next Lap Motorsports
On TikTok.
It was really great to see. He mimicked every flag wave of the official flagger at Deming Speedway, which is awesome. But it got my attention down in the center amongst all the rip-roaring, right? It was really great to see. I mean, and it shows kind of the innocence of racing. Like, there's some really great things that happen at the track that I really enjoyed. So,
I think the thing is to shout out and showcase him. I think he is probably one of the biggest fans of racing.
it seemed that way.
And it looks like he does a lot of things down maybe at Monroe Speedway.
Monroe, Evergreen
Speedway off
yeah.
of this Facebook thing.
That's kind of what we also learned that from when we were doing the research into him. It seems like that is a racetrack that he seems to hang out at. And then, but you know what I really noticed though?
He races quarter midgets.
Does he
I did
really?
a little bit more.
At Skagit?
No, down at
Monroe?
probably Monroe. It doesn't really say, but I'm
Oh.
definitely going to look into this some more. But
But you know what really got my attention was his technique. He was as technical in his flag wave that I've ever seen. Like, it was incredible. You could have put him on any racetrack, and any driver would have loved to have taken even a black flag from somebody with that kind of technique. So,
so
yeah.
the thing is, is there's some videos on TikTok of him from the grandstands, whereas we only saw, a head and a flag
Yeah.
because of the fence and the banners. He has a wood block carved out with his flags
Oh, there you
standing
go.
up in the wood block.
That's awesome.
So
There used to be a kid back in the day at Skagit Speedway that used to be the same kind of, had the wood block with all the flags and would mimic Kirby Hoyle's flag waving.
Okay.
Shout out to Kirby Hoyle, who just got inducted into the part of the 2026 class of the Hall of Fame at Skagit Speedway. Kirby Hoyle was a trip as a flagger. Holy crap. We can do a whole episode on how entertaining he was back in the day, but
So
yeah.
I wanted to give a shout out to probably one of the biggest fans that we had out at Deming on
It was
Saturday
cool to
night.
see, and his technique was flawless. It was great to see. So some flaggers could really take a page out of his technical flag waving abilities. So take note, he might be coming for your job, so be careful. All right, so let's get into the next thing, which on a personal level is a little irritating to me. And I don't care who hears it. I don't care who sees me say it. As a media group, we need to do better. So Deming Speedway is as action-packed as it gets, in my opinion, when it comes to racing, right? Claudia does a great job there. White Push Truck, Trish, does a great job. A lot of the media folks at Deming who are there every week
Consistently.
do a great job. Everybody wants to go to the Super Bowl, right? Everybody wants to be at the big race. But that big race was just as exciting as a weekly show. As a media group, we need to do better and be there more often. Deming deserves it. Deming is as action-packed as any race at Skagit. As a media group, come on. Come on. There was maybe a dozen.
Holy moly.
How many are normal? 4 of us? I mean, I don't even consider us normal yet, even though we've been at every race the last few weeks, right? But come on. And then I'm just going to leave it there. As a media group, we need to do better. Deming deserves it. It is action-packed, and I don't care what time you go. Come on. So, all right.
Okay.
Why is that? I toned it down.
You did.
I could
You
have
did.
gone. I could have gone nuclear about that, but I chose not to. Deming deserves it. Paul deserves
The
it.
drivers
so.
deserve it.
The drivers deserve it.
Oh, and okay.
The families who are busting their asses to put those cars on the track deserve it. Why do
So-
you freaking me out when you do this real fast? It bugs me, and I just threw my neck out.
I just have to make sure that this is still going and how much time. Let's stop for a second.
Yeah.
You just said something that was like, well, we need a pause. We need to repeat that. Paul deserves it.
Special man there.
Let's talk about the guy, the legend that puts us on and makes us race possible.
You know what? But the thing is, you call him a legend, he will tell you he's not.
I know.
You know, he deflects all praise and everything that he's done. But he is in his 70s. He is putting on the best sprint car show, especially locally. He gave us our shot.
Mm-hmm.
He gave us access. He treated us like we had been there since day one, which I will forever be grateful for. I look at him grandfatherly. He's looked at grandfatherly by a lot of drivers, by a lot of families there, by a lot of people there. He does special things for a lot of people. So, yeah, Paul is just incredible, man.
And so,
In a world full of hate and full of craziness, there's still some golden nuggets, and Paul is definitely that. So,
but he does everything he can to make Clay Cup happen for everybody. And as media, as fans, as teams, as officials, as everybody, that we all have to step up and do our share of that too.
We owe it to him and his legacy and his track that he's done an incredible job with. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah. All right. So, overall impression.
Last thing.
Clay Cup Nationals was an incredible 3 days. It sucks that we got rained out night one. I would have loved to see the mains
We
go.
got some races in.
You know, I would have, but a heat race is not the same as an A main for
Yeah.
points that are going to roll over to the next day. Like, I would have loved to have seen that, but despite that, it was the best racing I think I've ever seen, top to bottom. You're speechless. I mean, to be honest with you, it's incredible to see. So, I'm never missing another one. That's for damn sure. You know, so.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and this is completely unprompted.
I have no idea what she's asking. This is going to be fun.
Okay.
Is that going to wrap up the episode? Is
It's
the
gonna-
questions?
yep.
Questions from our audience.
No, just questions from me.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay. Best thing that you ate at Clay Cup?
Oof. I'll have to say, so I think Skagit does a pretty good walking taco, but Clay Cup, even though the ingredients were the same, they do stuff a little bit different in their prep of it. So that's probably the best.
Okay.
The walking taco at Deming.
The best race that you watched in all 3 days?
I mean, I got a kick out of the A main of the junior sprints, night 3, and of course being my favorite memory, the 600 restricted A main from night 3. Best to me personally, best race.
Best experience of being in the center? If you had to pick one thing out.
My conversations that I have with some of the track guys, just random, just off the wall, just how's life going, you know, talking about family, stuff like that, making you feel like you're welcome with those guys down there. So, yeah.
100%. Best overall experience within the pit or after a race as we're walking through the pit?
I'm going to say right now, and this is going to shock you, my best overall experience was the coffee stand. The gals making those coffees. I was waiting for coffees and talking to them and how welcoming they were and how warm they were and how nice they were. Are you kidding me? You weren't expecting that,
I was
were you?
not expecting that.
I mean, it is great for a driver to want to talk to you. It is great for a team to be like, hey, it's great to see you, because they kind of want something out of you, right?
Yeah.
But it's just a random conversation that made me feel like, man, you know, like you can go to other retail spots or other places. I've bought stuff at other tracks before and go, that sucked. But the gals making the coffee, and I should have asked her name. I can't remember. She made my Americano. By the way, second best Americano I've had, next to, well, we'll leave that for another day in case they decide to sponsor the show. By the way, anybody that has a side-by-side that wants free airtime, just to save my body from going from one end of the pits to the other, holy crap, I don't know if I could string together two 3-night races in a row. My body is destroyed.
Claudia said Lily is one of the coffee girls, and she can't remember the other one's name.
Yeah, for how random the conversation was, they were extremely warm, welcoming, like I was their friends, like we've known each other forever. And that goes a long way with me, so.
And I will have to say that is everybody I've encountered that is part of the Deming Speedway crew.
Yeah, everybody.
Okay, there was one thing that I thought that this was going to be one of your standouts, but I want to just kind of recap with this. Night 2, we're walking down the stairs to go from the into the pits to leave through the gate type scenario. There was a couple
Crew members from kind of the joint garage of Justin, Levi.
Yes. I want to say his name was Rydelin, but it was late and I was tired, so
Yeah.
I might be mistaking on that one.
Stopping us, saying he loves the content. I told him, thank you. We shook hands, said I would love to talk to you, talk to your drivers. Yeah.
And there was a couple of them on Sunday when we were hanging out. Or not Sunday, holy moly, this is Sunday. On Saturday when we were hanging out, kind of waiting in between finishing Ryan's interview and then whatever we were up to after that. There was a couple gentlemen that we were talking to as well.
Come up and love the content, and I love that. Don't get me wrong. It puts a smile on my face, and I have resting butthole face, so for me to
You
just
do not.
grin.
I don't know why you say that.
Because everybody says I look mean all the time. It makes me feel good. But if we're doing our job, that should happen.
Well, it should, but we're so new.
But we are, yeah.
So I think that was...
And it's gracious for people to give us compliments. I'm always grateful for that. But I kind of feel like as long as we're doing our job, people are going to do that. But I love it because it's going out of the way. It's hard, right, to come up to somebody you don't know and say, hey, I saw your stuff. Because what happens if you're wrong? The guy looks like, right? That's always my fear. I always appreciate it. But I kind of feel like if I'm doing my job, people are going to do that. And I love that. And I hope people do it. But there are other things that affect me more, I guess, is the best way to describe it. And, yeah, the coffee shop stuff means more to me. Not that that doesn't. It means a lot to me, but it affects me in a different way, I guess. So,
Okay, that's fair.
So, yeah.
That's a fair statement.
But don't get me wrong. I love it. I hope more people see the podcast. I hope more people love the content. I hope more people hate it. Because then it gets us better, right? I mean, I don't want everybody that we love everything you do when, in fact, there might be something that we could do better. I mean, Caleb was honest with some of his...
Yeah.
He had critique. I love that.
Constructive feedback.
Constructive feedback, yeah. I want, because I want to
needed.
be better at what I do. I want to be considered, and people ask me this, what is the goal of the podcast? I'm not doing this to make money. I want to be considered a legitimate storyteller. I want drivers and crews and fans to want to come and tell me their story because they'll trust that I'll tell it correctly. And they'll trust in me getting it out like they give it to me. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be considered legitimate in that. And that is my goal with this podcast. So,
Okay, so to wrap everything up.
yep. You
Clay-
asked. So
I did ask. Clay Cup, 100% recommend.
yes.
If you are within driving range,
Shame on you for not going because it is the best dirt track racing you're going to find
and
locally.
I know Jordan was wanting us to go to Modified Nationals.
I love
next
Adam.
year, but
I love modifieds. I don't know, man. That is a tall order. The micro sprint at Deming is, it's sexy. It is sexy.
So 100% recommend. If you are on TikTok right now with us live, thank you for following
sorry.
us on TikTok. It's been a long night, but we've done 3 episodes.
This is the end of the Clay Cup. Like, it started as I don't know how this is going to shake out to now it's done. I just got to edit it, but it is done. So,
And let's recap this really fast. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 driver interviews at Clay Cup.
most I've ever done in a row like that.
So 8 drivers we interviewed, plus the voice of Deming, Chase, as kind of an impromptu sit-down interview that we had, plus all the stories that we heard from officials and parents and everybody else involved. It was a lot of information this weekend, and I think that the only way to really digest it was to take this time to break it into 3 nights of episodes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I get that might seem like it is long.
I think I'll string them together as separate.
Yes.
Just because there's a lot to digest with these, but yeah.
So remember to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. All of it is From the Stands, PNW. You can listen or watch the episodes on Spotify and YouTube.
Full episodes on Spotify, YouTube. You get clips and all kinds of great social media content on the other social media apps. So, yeah.
And if there's anything that you guys ever want to have as a possible topic or a local interview,
guest you want us to have and talk to, please let us know. Yeah, absolutely.
DM us.
Yes.
And we would love to have some reviews on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah,
that
please.
we can hear, shout out, and review as we can kind of go.
Yep, absolutely.
Anything else?
Nope, that is it. All right, guys, thank you for watching. We appreciate everybody and all the support so far. I can't tell you how much it means to me. I know you hear that a lot with these kind of things. Thank you for the follows. It really means something, and it kind of gets glossed over.
And share, right?
And share. But this instance, it does really mean a lot because this is the fandom of the topic that we all love to talk about. And, yeah, so when I say thank you, it means from the bottom of my heart. Trust me, from resting butthole face guy, I mean it. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And like I said, every single race, every single lap, has a story. And guess what? All you guys have a seat with us. So
Thanks so much for watching our latest creation from the Stands PNW. So you're probably wondering who's responsible for creating this podcast. Well, that would be Jimmy and Stacy. Who is the guy in front of the microphone all the time? Well, that would be Jimmy. Who's producing our episodes? Well, that will be Jimmy and Stacy. Who am I talking to on the social media side and who's creating all that wonderful social media? Well, that would be Stacy. A special thanks goes out to Top Shelf Galaxy Productions, and of course, a special shout out to Ice by Stacy Media for all the great graphics and animations. So please like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when our latest hits the airwaves. You can find us across all social media platforms at From the Stands PNW. Once again, thank you so much for watching.